right on the landing ground.
Thank you for joining us. You are listening to A Radio, and this is The Morning Moment. Please click on the follow button on Spreaker.com. Today, while I still can, I want to direct you to an article from the Gatestone Institute. Now, this is my favourite website by far, but this article is particularly relevant to Canada, and it's not a Canadian article, it's a foreign article. And this is what foreigners look at Canada at right now. Now, I apologise ahead of time for any mispronunciation, but I don't speak Muslim words, so that's just the way it is. The article is entitled A Slap in the Face to Democracy, Canada's Anti-Islamophobia Motion. While the NCCM's open letter does not directly call for Sharia law or the criminalisation of criticism of Islam, it does advance the notion that the famously tolerant nation of Canada must set up an anti-racism directorate in each province to track instances of Islamophobia, institute a mandatory course, Systemic Racism, for Canadian high school students, and train its police officers to use bias-neutral policing. Josh Lieberman from the Daily Caller. Now that Islamophobia has been condemned, this is not the end, but rather the beginning. So the condemnation is followed by comprehensive policies, wrote Sama Mazoub, a Muslim Brotherhood affiliate of the Canadian Muslim Forum, presumably meaning the next steps are to make it binding. The objective of the jihad warrants that one must struggle against kafar, the disbeliever, and shirk, polytheism, whatever that is, and worship of falsehood in all its forms. Jihad has to continue until this objective is achieved, and that's from the ICNA Canadian website. Growing concern in Canada over liberal policies benefiting Muslim extremists shed light on why an anti-Islamophobia bill proposed in the wake of the deadly attack in Quebec City in January on the mosque and approved by Parliament on March 23rd spurred such hatred and controversy here. Motion M103, soon to be a law in Canada, I have to add to you, tabled by the Liberal Communists, which is what I call them, and in particular an MP from the socialist population of Toronto, Ikra Khalid, a Muslim representing Mississauga Erin Mills, calls on the Canadian government to develop a whole-of-government approach to reducing or eliminating systemic racism and religious discrimination, including Islamophobia. Because the bill makes no mention of any other religious groups targeted by bigots, it is opposed by most conservative politicians and the majority of the public. And I have to add here that the majority of people in Canada probably don't even know what's going on because they're too busy playing and watching hockey and other such things and drinking beer, which is what they do in Canada. I'm sorry to be stereotypical, but that's really what they do. And this is what the government likes. They like a dumbed down public so that they can jam through these anti-democratic, anti-free speech bills. And there will be a day of reckoning. Let me tell you, Liberal Communists, there will be a day of reckoning. It won't be a violent day of reckoning. It'll be a political day of reckoning. So if you think you can catch me out there, you've got another thing coming. I will put a link on my website to this article, and I urge everybody to look at it because it's shocking and it's the foretaste of things to come in Canada. This is only the beginning, folks. This is just the starting point. They have not finished yet. And to my Muslim friends, if you think that there won't be any repercussions to this, you're very sadly mistaken, because people will not take lightly. They will not take lightly to people taking away their free speech and their right to criticise anybody about anything. This is a free and democratic country. It is not a socialist, Muslim, liberal, communist country, much as you'd like it to be. And I really wonder, quite honestly. Why people come to this country if all they want to do is to turn it into the country that they left? Now that's not a racist, that's not a bigoted comment, that's a fact. Why do you come here if you want to change how the country is to how the country you left from? Where is the logic in that? Unless you didn't really leave for the reasons that you said you left. That's more likely the case, isn't it? Now, I want to add to that I'm British. You never would have guessed that, would you? I came to Canada, but I grew up without guns and stuff like that. And we certainly didn't have hockey. Now, I don't like hockey, and I'm not thrilled about guns, and I don't like hunting. But that's nothing to do with me. That's the Canadian way of life. People go hunting, people play hockey. I can't stand hockey. I don't like hunting. But I'm not going to say you can't hunt and you can't play hockey. I came to Canada. Canada didn't come to me. And after all, isn't that what it's about? Should I expect that all Canadians give up hockey and give up hunting? No. Your thoughts, please. You can find more at aradio.wordpress.com, where you will find links to us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, iTunes, Gab, and email. We are continuing to reach out to you, so please pass on the links. Please click on the follow button on Spreaker.com. You can listen to all my morning moments on Spreaker.com under A Radio. That's EHRADIO, A Radio. And please click on the like button. You can find all my podcasts and all my morning moments at aradio.wordpress.com. Click on the Morning Moments tab.